Alright, hold on, I will check if this works. Kinda. Yeah. Today is the 15th of July 2017. So I have to figure out some topic to speak while I walk and make the next scene to this video, because I always want to record my walks basically every time, so that if something happens, I am able to prove that I have been video recording my behavior all along. That means if somebody tries to attack me verbally or physically, I'm able to show I have not started any provocation, any provocative behavior. Alright, so it's very useful to video record one's own self. Now there is this passion in Finland because they got this super chat option to Finland's YouTube, that people who broadcast, live stream, video broadcast transmission online to YouTube channel, they can have a so-called super chat at the same time, where people can actually donate any sum of money to that guy who is live streaming. Hold on, my phone rings. Okay, excuse me for the pause. Now it rings again, hold on. Okay, excuse me again for the pause. So that people can donate certain sums of money from their credit cards to that guy who is live streaming. But it requires that 1,000 subscribers such a YouTuber must have before he can have that option. And even then it's not guaranteed that people would donate money, but many people try nowadays. First they try to get 1,000 subscribers to their channel. I actually witnessed one guy in Finland earned hundreds of euros just during a few hours, and later on it was told that he actually earned something like 2,000 to 3,000 euros just in a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. Okay, so it's quite profitable. But I'm not seeking to get 1,000 subscribers, and I don't try to make money out of my YouTube videos, so that nobody can accuse me that I'm making my videos just to get money. It's better to stay this way. Besides, I don't want to make any live stream YouTube broadcast transmissions at all. It's quite expensive program to install, and my camera is not any phone. It's a camera, so it is impossible to install a live stream option here. Alright. Cat. over there. That's why I smiled. So it's alright to pre-record and release the video afterwards to YouTube channel. That's an old-fashioned way, and I prefer that. I prefer an old-fashioned manner of making videos. But I make same kind of, my style of recording videos is pretty much like live streaming, because I don't cut my videos unless it is necessary to omit something. But like one shot can be 10, 20, 30 minutes long at a time. There was a guy on YouTube just the other day. He faked that he had made 6-hour long live stream broadcast because he seemed to sit on his chair for the entire time, but when I took a closer look, he actually had pre-recorded it all. He probably was sitting on his chair just for a few minutes, but he skillfully had cut that one few minute recording in a way that it looked like he is sitting continuously, but I was able to see the cuts, the edits. Alright, but finally when he released that video, it was just a few minutes long. And he was sitting completely alone, nobody was chatting with him, so I was wondering what was his purpose. But I recognized that he actually streamed live to YouTube channel for 6 hours continually. Now I will pause and continue in a while. Stay online. Alright, I am here at these houses. Čakajte tu, аз правим малко назад от локещ. Обаче тук има много мръсно. Не може отива там. Yeah, this is a very beautiful place actually. Отиваме първи път там и после там. Отиваме пак сега. Добре. Там къде ние стартира. Yeah. House is beautiful and everything here. A little house on the prairie. This is quite small but sufficient for 2 people, for starters. Dobre, postawi tu. For 2 people. Eikö tuk? Tuk. Da. All right. These doors and windows have very thick bars, just in the case of vandalism. To prevent people to break in. It's just a precaution, that's all.
Dobre.
Ja sam dobre. I asked how is he. He answered he's okay, and I said, and I'm also okay. All right. Wait. Ти може се ми камера, не пипа нищо, назад или там горе, само много малко дръж. Обаче внимавен. Може би това отива. Добре. Ръка вътре.
Готов.
Поставили?
Да.
So here we are, the two of us, me and a boy, here in front of the house, in front of the little house on the prairie actually. So so we are walking together. Very beautiful nature here. Yeah, so this is a very good summer day on the 15th of July 2017 in Bulgaria's Black Sea coast. And there is the prairie actually. There is the prairie. Sort of prairie, it's not a real prairie, but
Да.
We are here at this tree. I'm not sure what's the name of the tree because I'm not familiar with plants and flowers and trees. That what are their names, especially because I'm not from Bulgaria. I'm from Finland, Northern Europe. So, but we have similar kind of trees, not exactly like these, but same kind of trees. And it's very nice and calming surrounding here. Good environment for me and the boy. And we are here actually having a hot weather. That's why he is taking off his shirt. And but the wind is not too severe actually. So we can, I hope that my voice can be heard by the audience. And check it, let me come in. Let me go. Yes. Jalat. Yeah, as you can see, quite a big tree here, and we are, I mean, this tree can be a parable or an allegory or a symbolism to the fact that a tree must be planted, although I don't remember exactly that proverb, but hei, ne pravi poi feismo. Timas korestu. Toplo. Katu toplo vreme tunali?
Da.
Dobre. So here is the situation. We are under a tree that can symbolize, that can be a parable and an allegory to a lot of things actually. That we must do things today and not postpone them until tomorrow, because important things must be done as soon as they are to be done. Something like that. We have proverbs in my language, which is Finnish language. We have proverbs which cannot be directly translated to English without explaining a lot, without a lot of background explanatory words describing. But hold on, my telephone is ringing. I pause. Certa figura. Ne video. Asiskam. Gledar na kamera. Pravi figuran tuk na mene. Anatkai. All right. Yeah, this is very artistic surroundings. Environment is peaceful, and you know, this is super for these kinds of videos, to make these kind of videos is ideal in these kind of conditions. Yeah, so I will still continue among these buildings, the video recording. I have to attend something over there, but we will come back soon in this same video. Alright, I will now pause, stay online. Yeah, this is a small community of buildings, but no people. But we are the people. Tiitsäkin tuki vaskotivat. We are here actually in this community of buildings. Buildings. Ha? Dobre. Opače, няма много мръсно, нали? Може би оттам. Ако има много мръсно, опухти отива краш. И крак отива краш. Ако има прозорец. Малко тук. Ласко идва. Отива като тук. Тук? Да. Yeah. These houses are bungalows used by people in old times, but nowadays people prefer much more expensive locations when they arrive for to have some kind of break from the job or something like that. You know, it is like quality consciousness has risen in people's minds, and besides, people have more money to they can afford more expensive resorts nowadays. Sielläkin, tam. Tukiman nooko konshit. Alright, here's the tree. And we had to attend another thing over there, so we had to break our video recording session. He has lost his belt or something. Oh. The thing is that I cannot walk around the city with him. until he's older. He and I, if we walked together, that would raise suspicions, because the passers-by on the streets, you know, they might do something nasty to the both of us. So we must remain in this countryside type of location, and we are cautious, of course. This is the only option. Bulgaria does not make any exception when it comes to an adult man and a minor who are not of the same immediate family. When they are hanging around in public areas, people stare and might cause problems. So that's why we stay in this countryside type of area. Okay. Toi ne pravi katu haha lesno. As prova pravi maita, ama toi imma poker facer.
No. A saljeski va sad, ja kela tässä.
Da, tak. Hobo. Чакай, скажи мой cigarette. I will just extinguish my cigarette to the ground. Otivan. Opače, čakaj. Da, otivamo pak. So I really love country life, especially, places which are avoided by tourists and locals alike. You know, they consider these kinds of areas to be some kind of wasteland, as they call them. But for me, this is a treasure land. Of course, this is the natural human condition, actually. From the time immemorial, since the dawn of humanity, people used to live a natural life among the nature. Cities and towns came afterwards. So I don't know what is like his trousers. I mean, the boy's pants don't seem to stay properly. Because he has no belt. Kako ima? Tinha ključ pri tua pantalonki. I mean, this was not my idea. And every time he has taken off his shirt or trousers in my videos, I have never asked him to do so. It's because of the hot weather that people usually dress up like that during the summertime, alright? So it's also a sign of liberal attitude towards the way people hang around, and it's quite loose and relaxed way of, you know, expressing oneself, to dress up not so formally, especially in the area like this, and especially during the summertime. Alright, I will give this camera now to the camera operator. And we are at least sitting in the shadow, not being a target for the direct sunlight, so it's cooler here. It's cooler here, and
No, still don't.
Искаш остави тук черквалата или искаш отива пак на градец, после 4 лет? Роби, превод.
Да.
Той иска остави тук.
Не.
Той иска отива пак на градец, после 4 лет.
Да.
Добре. Ти разбираш мой език?
Не.
Сигурен да.
Не. Малко.
Малко. Той разбира малко български, нали? Добре, автобус, билет или такси няма значение. Аз плащам 80 лева
Да.
19, добре?
Да.
И край.
Да.
Няма екстра пари. И обаче, и това остави за всичко, като миналия път.
Да.
Добре. Той отива на 3 клас септември или не?
Да.
При градец. Днеска е 15 юли, още 4 ден, 19. Колко часа аз идвам тук? 19 юли. Или защото аз има пари само 19, няма по-рано.
Колко часа?
И отиваш точно 19 или 20?
20.
20 отиваш.
Да.
Добре, аз идвам обяд някъде.
Да.
This boy is actually moving back to his location of residence, which is hundreds of kilometers away from here, just after a few days, after 5 days actually. So these are the last video recordings with this boy. He's having his summer vacation here. He goes to the 3rd class in his school. He just finished his 2nd grade in his elementary school, so he goes to the 3rd grade, 3rd class, from the 1st of September. So I will miss him, but if I cannot see him again, I probably have to look for somebody else, because he lives so far away and he has no chance to visit this place frequently, and I cannot go over there because the travel is expensive. It's like 40 euros one way, plus accommodation like hotel room over there and etc. It's difficult, but this is life. Дай камеру. Обаче, ако ти искаш остави тук, ти може отива на училище, принеси го, ако искаш.
Ми севър тук?
Да, то може отива на...
Севър, само няма да достави.
Баща не дава.
No.
Добре. Yeah, I was told that his legal guardian does not give this boy the permission to go to school in Nesebar, so he has to go back to his little location of residence so that he continues his school over there. Well, that's of course the decision of the legal guardian, and I respect that. But nevertheless, it has been fun to make videos with him, and so we continue our lives on the separate ways, but nobody knows what the month of August will bring. So as soon as I find another boy to be video recorded, I will immediately do that. So I think I'm I am now finishing this recording because before this becomes too long, so it's like bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Like I said, this video recording is one of the last times when I'm able to video record that boy, because he's gonna go back to his location of residence hundreds and hundreds of kilometers away from Nesebar. So he was here actually because of his summer vacation from his school. He is visiting his relatives at the moment. He's part of the family of those people. I mean, he's part of the family of those people here in Nesebar. So he is not just a random guy from the streets. I never could even do such a thing to try to get a random boy from the streets, because it's, of course, it would look like a stalker or a predator would have snatched an underage boy to video recording purposes, and then they would also suspect many bad things as well when it comes to me recording a boy, a random boy especially. But this boy is not a random boy. I mean, the boy in my video series called Me and a Boy. This is my 7th part of that series actually. I'm not sure if I am able to record him tomorrow or after tomorrow, because he's gonna go back to his own place where he lives. So it's a bye-bye for him, and he's not gonna come back until next summer, because I cannot afford his to and fro traveling, and his family cannot afford that either. So hold on, I check. Yeah, this is recording. So I'm just I just recognized at the other side of the street, walking on the sidewalk towards the opposite direction of my direction, very interestingly dressed up old man, like straight from the 1800s era of the United States. That means the 19th century, but I prefer to say 1800s because that specifies the exact century. Because Europeans get mixed up, they actually might think that if I say 19th century that I mean the 20th century, because we in Europe we have only this one variation of saying or specifying the centuries. We say always 1800s, 1900s and things like that, okay? So I mean, that guy at the other side of the street, he was dressed up exactly, I mean, he was like ripped off from such old era photograph actually. He was he had such a hat on his head and everything, and a beard, long hair. But of course I didn't have the nerve, I didn't have the courage to go and ask that could I videotape him, because I don't know the reaction of people if somebody is under the influence of some substance, intoxicating substance like alcohol or narcotics, you know. And even without them, people's characters might be very unpredictable. So I don't randomly go and interview people on the streets, because that might end up in some violent encounter from the other guy's behalf, not from my behalf, because I never use violence. The only aggressive behavior I might have is that when in a panic situation, just like those dogs who attacked me and my camera operator. In the video which I released in my previous YouTube channel, those killer dogs attacked very violently the both of us. So I started shouting as loudly as possible. So that sort of got those dogs scared, frightened enough so that they left me alone, but they managed to attack the other person who was my camera operator. But because of my shouting and because we left that area very quickly, I was able to get rid of those dogs, because they were obviously I don't know, I have a lot of theories that somebody actually unleashed them. Somebody had let loose those dogs just for the purpose of attacking me. They were very aggressive dogs. So the same goes with people actually. I have no intention to interview or video record random people on the streets. Not at all. Because camera seems to awaken very violent and aggressive reactions at times. I have been following other YouTubers, you know. I don't recall right now any aggressive encounter myself, but by studying other people's experiences, you know, one can learn a lot without having to learn the hard way for oneself. All right. But of course, this all kinds of video recordings might prevent aggressive situations and encounters in advance. I think so. I know what kind of a scandal this video might cause, just because that boy didn't have a proper belt in his trousers or any way to keep his trousers up. It was not my fault, and I won't delete that scene because it is not inappropriate or indecent as such, because he was not exposing his lower body. If that was the case, I would have, of course, deleted that entire scene. At least I would have edited that scene to look more proper and decent. But you know, I don't know what he was thinking, because usually his trousers are being kept up normally. Just today he was acting like some rebel in a rebellious way. I mean, he's quite quiet guy. He's pretty much a quiet guy. Usually boys are talkative here, talkative in Bulgaria, but for some reason he's quite quiet. Okay, so I don't know why. It's not because of me, because I have not made anything bad or illegal towards him. So I cannot be accused of anything. So in Finland, I would not be able to make such videos in which there would be a boy, especially that young, because all the passers-by on the streets would immediately call the cops, which would arrive also immediately. Although there is no crime going on and nobody is about to commit a crime, but the Finland's police break Finland's constitutional law many times, as well as the entire European Union's constitutional law, by behaving in such a way in which they are really more like criminals. I mean, the cops behave as if they were criminals. In this day and age is the usual expression which I have heard in many YouTubers' videos. That's the explanation when the US cops and security guards tell to those videographers that they have to arrive and check what's going on, because in this day and age everything is suspicious. I can understand that people want to protect their young, but I mean, when people overreact, it's it causes more nuisance than saves lives. Actually, I think so. At least the overreactivity of Finland's people and police, But I don't want to go into this subject too much, because my words and opinions might cause hatred and hate speech towards me. I'm not supporting child molestations at all. I respect the age of consent laws, and I'm not encouraging anybody to break those laws, okay? I just want to emphasize that overreactivity is not a good thing, especially, I mean, for example, okay, I can tell that I could not walk with that boy which you just saw in this video, and during my entire video series called Me and a Boy in my YouTube channel, called The $6 Million Man from Finland, okay? I could not walk around randomly all over the Nesepar city center, especially without any relative of his accompanying us. And even then, like I told in that video, when we were I was video recording at the seashore of the Black Sea. People were staring and probably taking photos, I don't know. But this kind of hysteria is much lesser here than in Finland. But nevertheless, I cannot take any risks and walk randomly with a boy, especially of his age, everywhere in the city, to be in a public display openly because of the suspicions of the passers-by on the streets. Do you say passers-by or passers-by? I'm not sure. I should look it up, but not now. Anyway, yeah, many times people project their own fantasies upon others. Fantasies which are not true. Okay, I have to clarify and specify these kind of things in this video again, as you can see. Long explanations before I can release that video footage which I recorded when we were at that countryside type of area. A recording with that boy, okay? So that people don't get wrong impressions and report, so that people won't file unnecessary reports, and especially false reports, which would actually be a crime. But anonymous tips and hints and insinuations, people want to insinuate things which are not true to the cops and security guards, whatnot. I just cover my back by making these explanations, alright? And okay, I will now stop recording. It's bye bye.